It is about 9,000 degrees out here. I got helicopters flying all over the place. I got beverage carts running up in my shot. I've got the range picker driving up in my shot. It has been an interesting, probably hour and a half, trying to get you guys one of my favorite drills to do with students when it comes to tightening up your golf swings. But we're gonna get this done. We're gonna have some fun with this, and we are going to make sure that it's a banger. And when you get it in your brain and you start taking it out to the driving range, the very next time that you practice, you're going to start seeing some immediate results. That's how much I believe in this drill. This is a drill I call the 30-60-90 drill. It's going to solve a lot of problems. In fact, it might even do your laundry for you. It might even do your dishes for you. Who knows? It may even fly a helicopter for you, because here comes another one. You ready? I'm ready. Let's go ahead and get started. You guys did say you wanted a good one, huh? Well, pay attention, this is a good one. Okay, so first thing we need to do is we need to talk about what this drill actually is, because we're gonna answer a lot of questions for you before you start going out there to try to work on things. That's important. You need to know what it is that you're doing. You also need to know why you're doing it. The most important thing on the list is how you're gonna work on things. How you practice this stuff is really what sets you up for success. I guarantee you a lot of you at home can actually start getting success if you follow this plan to a T. If you jump a step or you try to practice this stuff too quickly, then all bets are off. The first thing that we're gonna do is wave to the helicopter tours, because they want to come over here and they want to see what we're talking about. We got a lot of stuff. We even got people behind us watching us. We got Skip Kendall from the PGA Tour over here, making a lot of dreams come true out here today. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a good visual of what this drill is together by understanding what 30, 60, 90 really means. The first position being your 30 position, or 30% of your backswing. Okay, so you're going to have your hands at pocket height going back. This is your 30 position. Now, what you're going to notice here is that I have started to set my wrist to where the club shaft is what? Well, it's parallel to the ground. I don't want to see the club overset, and I don't want to see underset when your hands get to pocket height. We're looking to keep things down the middle of the road. That's how I want you to approach business here today, is that we're going to do things in moderation. We're not going to try to drink too much of the Kool-Aid on one side of it or the other. The first position being your 30% is when your hands get to pocket height and your club shaft is parallel to the ground. So it's 30% of my backswing and 30% of my max range of motion in my wrists. The second position is going to be your 60% position. This is when the hands get to about chest height or your lead arm is parallel to the ground. What you'll notice here is that it's virtually perpendicular to the ground, not overset and not underset. From here, we're gonna move to position 90. When your hands reach shoulder height. You can see that my wrists have now set to almost their full range of motion. I said 90%, not 100. You're gonna save about 10% of your range of motion when you get to that 90% mark. That 90% mark is going to be really critical for us when we start blending the drill together. So when your hands get to shoulder height, you've now reached the 90% marker. So you have the visual of 30%, 60%, 90%. There's one caveat before we jump into the drill. It is very, and I mean very important, that you still keep the primary engine of your takeaway in your backswing as weight shift first and body turn second. I do not want you just picking up a golf club and swinging it through these positions with just your hands and your arms. You need to get your body to work for you. A simple way to get your body warmed up is do 10 to 15 reps or so from a good setup position. I'm gonna rest the club here on my lead thigh. I'm gonna just cross my arms over my shoulders, and I'm gonna pressure shift by pushing down on my trail ankle, and I'm gonna pull my right shoulder back. So I'm gonna do about 10 to 15 reps, just like that. That is number one important, is that you keep that movement on the forefront every single rep that you do moving forward. Now that you're warmed up, you've got that visual in your brain, we gotta start bringing the arms and the club back to the mix. Remember, your 30% position, your 60% position, and your 90% position gonna have some checkpoints with the golf club. So when you do these next 10 to 15 reps, I want you to stop at each one of the positions and I want you to check. So hands at pocket height, we're at 30%, 60%, 90%. You're gonna need a camera or a mirror or a loved one or a friend to tell you if your hands are right at shoulder height. I don't wanna see your hands way up above shoulder height, and I don't wanna see them below it. Right at shoulder height is the sweet spot for this drill. So you're gonna do about 10 to 15 reps just like that, okay? 30, 60, 90. 30, 60, 90. 30, 60, 90. After you've done 10 to 15 reps like that, you're going to start to blend it together. You're going to be working to that 90% mark without having any stopping at 30 or 60. Again, you're going to follow the processes of blending the reps together, but you're going to do about 10 to 15 reps before you start going into the fun part when we start making this athletic and dynamic movement and start making a downswing. Do not cut corners and think that doing 2 or 3 reps is going to do you a whole lot of good. I want you to follow this 10 to 15 rep scale to get your brain ready to not only just keep the visuals in place, but to also keep the feels in place. Let's go ahead and start blending it together. We're gonna do about 10 to 15 reps. So 30, 60, 90. Okay, going slow. We're not trying to go real fast here. So 30, 60, 90. 30, 60, 90. Okay, let's do one more. 30, 60, 90. Okay. Now you're ready for go time here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start moving onto our lead side as soon as our hands get to that 90% mark. Now I know a lot of you at home, when you do this drill, you're gonna feel really short, really tight. You're gonna feel like you're never gonna produce enough speed. But I promise you're gonna be mesmerized when you look at it on camera that your hands still continue to go further back than what you thought. Because as your hands and arms are going back into that 90% mark, you're gonna have momentum and inertia that's working in this direction as you start shifting onto your lead side. So your hands and your arms are gonna potentially get a little bit carried further back. Totally fine. But the idea is to start changing the direction by thinking shift to your lead side as your hands get to that position. This is where you get that sort of feeling of starting the downswing before your backswing is complete. So you can see that it's like a multifaceted sort of drill. So we're gonna do about 10 to 15 reps now, blending it all together and making an athletic sort of move. Keep the visuals in your brain of what that 30% mark, 60% and 90% mark look like, then start getting the feels lined up with that, and then start making some swings. I always suggest when you start moving dynamically or athletically, when you're out in the range getting ready to hit some balls, that do this at about 80% speed. So if you're a 6-gear transmission, pull it down to about 5th gear and make some really good focused golf swings here. So we're gonna do about 10 to 15 reps, all blended together. So we're gonna go 30, 60, 90, shift, okay? This is maybe a little bit faster than we wanted, so let's slow it down. So 30, 60, 90, shift, okay? Just keep doing it. 30, 60, 90, shift, okay? So I'm keeping the visuals and the feels. And now I've completed my 15 reps. I didn't really complete 15 reps, but I know at home you don't want to watch me do 15 of the same reps in a row. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna introduce the golf ball back to the mix. I like to start out with a 1-to-1 ratio, where I make one practice swing, one golf ball swing. Then as I go through the practice session, if I find that I'm checking it on camera or things I'm starting to lose sight of what the visual really is and the feels, I will go back down, I'll strip it down to where it's 3 chunky pieces, then I blend it together, then I start moving through it, and then I come back in to start hitting golf balls. Don't go out there and start rifling golf ball after golf ball. That's not gonna do you any good. You're gonna fall victim to the feel versus real thing way too quickly, and you're gonna be back to square one. So we're gonna go 1-to-1 here. I'm gonna get the ball on a nice lie because it makes it easier for us to hit it off of nice lies. I think there's a helicopter coming. There sure is. It's like MASH out here. Okay, so we're gonna do 1-to-1. So I'm gonna do one practice swing at about 80% speed. 30, 60, 90. Okay, keeping the same visuals and the same feels in my brain. I'm just gonna go ahead and try to execute. That was it pretty good there. Let's do one more. That made a nice sound. Hopefully you guys can hear that sound at home, because that's like music. So we're gonna go ahead and get a ball set up. Okay, we're gonna do 30, 60, 90. I'm visualizing it in my brain. Okay, now I'm gonna try to feel it. Okay. Let's do one better rep here. That felt like a little bit more armsy on the way down. I want to use my legs to shift. 30, 60, 90. Okay, that was better. Man, that was a good one there too. So there you have it, the 30, 60, 90 drill. Yeah, you should get some good success with it. If you like today's video, then do me a favor, click the like button below. If you have any questions or comments, maybe you even went out and worked on the drill and you want to tell me how it went, post that below. Subscribe to our channel, that way you get notification on anytime we put out new content. We've got a lot of really great videos that are going to be coming out over the next year or so, and I'm glad that you joined us.